Hello everybody and welcome to the Challenge at Goat Hill FPO coverage brought to you by GK Pro. I'm Zoe AnDyke.
And I'm Juliana Korver.
We're excited to be your commentators on this final 9 front half of the course. We are in lovely Oceanside, California for this event, and our presenting sponsor this weekend is Innova Champion Discs. Check out this top card. We've got Lisa Fajkus, Ohn Scoggins, Ella Hansen, and Jessica Weese. This is going to be an exciting card. We've got some seasoned vets and some rookies on the scene. Ella first time in front of the camera, and well, let's just see how the action unfolds. We've got elevation and wind in the way.
Here's hole 1, 531 feet, par 4. There's a conservative low straight shot and then a more aggressive high turning anhyzer. The trouble is to get that anhyzer turned over too much, which might put it down on the ground and roll it OB. The basket is behind the lip of the green, so it makes the approach pretty difficult. Plus, there's OB long and left if you skip.
From Canyon Lake, Texas.
You know, hole 1 just continues to be tricky for me because of the wind. The wind is always a factor, and it's awesome to see the disc selection and then how the player is choosing to fight through it.
Yeah, this is very, very technical. Even though it looks wide open, you need to have great edge control to keep that controlled in the wind.
Lisa keeping it low and safe in the fairway there.
From Innova, Team
and
Innova,
second to tee off.
And also Team Helix, Ohn Scoggins.
Ohn Scoggins. Yep, and here she comes. And it's always such a fun, colorful, flavorful person to have on the card.
Smiling, such a joy to play with.
And consistent as we've seen last couple of days. Right up the fairway, keeping it low and cutting through the wind.
Our next competitor was a 2-time Team
The goal
USA
here is to be
Ultimate
close enough
Frisbee
that you can
champion
feel comfortable going over the
world.
green.
And is also sponsored by Discmania. Please give a warm welcome
Seattle, Washington.
all the way from Eugene, Oregon.
I believe Ella Hansen here will be teeing off third. Coming from an Ultimate Frisbee background, a couple of world titles, collegiate titles in Ultimate Frisbee, and now switching over to disc golf. Completely obsessed and excited for her season. And she's a bomber. She's what we like to call a crusher. Sponsored by Discmania.
And last but certainly not least,
her disc is out there just fine in the fairway.
Great power.
But I'm the jerky that introduced her first, Jessica Weese.
Rounding out our card, somebody we've seen since she was really just a little girl, Jessica Weese, grown up on the scene, grown up in the game. Let's see how she attacks hole 1. Giving it just a good amount of turn, shows the right stability of disc, and she's just right out there safe as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Have a great round, ladies.
I really appreciated our announcer on the final day. He had some real character, made us all feel very, very excited to be throwing our first shots.
He put effort into it. Yes, it definitely showed. Now, there is an OB line on the right-hand side. Own's absolutely fine.
She played that nice and wide and safe along over the OB. Jessica with a sidearm here, going over the OB left.
Notice how you can only see the band, the top band of the basket from where the camera angle is. Because of that dip down behind the green, it makes it, a very fast green, and there's OB behind it.
Mm-hmm. Lisa straight over the green OB. Oof.
Wow.
Park job.
That's phenomenal.
I like to find myself parking in Park City, Utah as well. Ella, just a massive hyzer completely over the backside of the OB, just missing it completely. And plenty safe, I think, or is that by the line?
Well, it is right by the line, but I think it's on the safe side of the line.
All right. Giving it a little safe biddy and just getting it up there, I think. Had to go over those trees. All right, Ohn pin high with the basket. Kind of like that side angle. But not messing around. That's rare.
You know, that's the third time that I can remember for this event that she's laid up, and that's really impressive because typically she'll go for everything but the wind and the OB close by the basket. That's a mature choice to
Very.
put that under the basket.
Great start for Jessica Weese there. It was a sweet birdie. Taking a knee for basket height and going through her routine, cashing the par in. Great job, Ella. And now Ohn cleaning up. No problem. And Lisa, this is just so cool. Tap in birdie. That's a real dream come true if you ask me.
That is a very hard upshot. That was just perfect.
She didn't even have to take the bag off.
All right, here we are on hole 2 looking at the discbarn.com drone cam. This is a 344-foot par 3 with 21 feet of elevation gain. I personally like to be on the left side of the basket because I'm not far enough to get pin high. If you throw directly at the basket and you aren't pin high, you've got an extremely steep uphill shot.
And Lisa keeping it low enough out of the wind and hyzering out to the left, kind of like what we were talking about.
Yeah, I don't think she wanted that hyzer at the end, but it's not going to hurt her. It shouldn't hurt her.
Yeah. And Jessica Weese lining up her tee shot on hole number 2 here. Really love watching Jessica drive. You know, she doesn't need a whole lot of speed. It's slow is smooth, smooth is far. And I think she's going to be all right out there.
They both should be able to see the basket from where they're lying.
Got a little bit of tilt on that angle, a little Anheuser angle, and kind of sunk her straight into that side hill. It's going to be a tough upshot because of that elevation we were talking about.
She will have the elevation, and she also has the tree limbs that are hanging down that she has to go under.
Oh, man. That thing was sailing. Hit some foliage, though, and dropped her in that same tough uphill elevation spot. Okay, Lisa's up there. That's going to be a tricky putt, but at least has a chance for it.
That path is not OB on this hole.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Owen's looking pretty comfortable in that spot. Should be an easy par for her. And you can't even see the basket here. I mean, that's just drastic elevation. Oh,
At least there are flags on top of the basket so you can see the location of the basket. There, this is the position I like to go at it from. You can see the full basket so you know where to land, how to land.
Ella for the par here. And makes it. Great.
I would have liked to have seen where her disc was going to end up. That had a lot of power on it when it hit that tree.
Absolutely. Lisa for her 3. And she's
Nice.
in. Yeah. It's not an easy putt. None of these are with all the elevation and wind.
Well, and there's a very high probability of a roll away if you hit the basket and don't stay in here.
Jessica,
Nice.
yes, taking her time, lining it up. Great putts here, as we would expect to see from the top card on the final day. These ladies are dialed. They know the course. They know their shots. Now they just got to try their best every time.
That was really an exceptional upshot by Ohn from down in the valley.
Yeah.
Hole 3, 380-foot par 3, 22 feet of elevation gain. This uphill shot is blind from the tee. Players can only see the flag, but it is nice and straight, and there isn't any OB that should come into play. There's OB on the right long, but with the distance of this hole, that's not something to worry about on the first drive.
You can see Lisa picking her spot in the air, lining up her shot. Bam. I think she got it. Hit her exact line, and she's up on top on the flat.
Oh,
Wow.
nice roll. Oh, my goodness.
Man, I love when you know your disc so well, and your disc is like, I want to impress you. I'm going to go to the basket. The big hyzer, which is great. She's putting it up in the air, and she's going to get that skip. Flat ground is great.
Yeah, Good position.
Ohn she gave it a little turnover, but she knows that disc so well. I think that's one of her strikes, and it comes back for her almost every time.
I don't think she expects to get close enough to be putting this one, so it really doesn't matter where she ends up on this hole.
Right. I'm excited to see where the power
exactly
takes Ella here. Kaboosh. Wow. Oh, wow. All the way up there. Looks like she's in circle 2. You can kind of tell she let go of it a tiny bit earlier than she wanted, but in great position.
I think she might have had it a few degrees higher than she wanted as well. Lost a little bit of power to the height, but she's still putting.
Mm-hmm. Jessica giving that a fair, safe bid for an upshot.
Got that high enough that that could have gone in.
Like how Lisa's not messing around here. She wants her par. She wants to move on to hole 4.
This is another one of the baskets that's on a little mound. Not drastic, but enough that it makes you think about it.
Oh, top of it. That was a very good bid from that distance with the wind, with that hill. Just for her 3. Just low.
That looked like that could have gone in.
And now you guys can kind of see this mound isn't as drastic, but what the wind can actually do once the disc has hit the ground is not allow it to just sit, but pick up and roll. Glad for that comebacker. I know Jess is not happy with that bogey, but at least it's only 1 more stroke. And the par for Ohn there. And a little tap in for Lisa for the par. And pars are good, but I know Ella definitely wanted to card that birdie.
Hole 4, 605 feet, par 4. The trick off the tee is knowing your distance. You can see the fence line right there. Beyond that fence line, there's an OB in the bottom of that canyon. And it's very easy for this group of pro women to reach that OB in the canyon. So they need to choose whether they're going to try to stay on the right side safe, but it's very skinny. Most likely they're going to lay up short of that fence so that they have a flat footing for their second shot.
The layup is tricky as well because...
Oh, she's going right side.
Whoa.
I love it. This is aggressive.
Excellent. Wow. We haven't seen that one yet. Yeah. I almost just started clapping. That was amazing.
That is going to make her second approach shot much simpler.
And Ohn's trying to make the same play she's made all week and landing great there. Still like thinking about Lisa's shot there. That was awesome. Let's see what route Ella takes. With all that power, she's got options.
She looks like she's going right side too.
Yes. And then actually a little bit of a layup there.
That looks like that's going to... Oh, no, she's fine. I was thinking that... Well, I totally misread that. I thought she put more power into that, and I thought she was going to hyzer into the lake, but she was definitely laying up.
I think she chose a slower speed disc there for sure. Jess with the sidearm. Also just looking to land on the flat ground. And I like that right side there.
Very, very smart play by all of the women here. I saw a lot of people going OB on this hole today.
Yes. Day 3, people are wanting to make some moves, maybe get a little more distance out of those layups. Wow, that was a great second shot for Jess. She's maybe just a little pinched off by the tree, but she's up there safe.
With another little sidearm, she's got a nice opening to the basket.
Ohn's just looking to put it in the middle with a view of the basket.
Now remember, there's a pretty stiff headwind here, and those girls need to clear this green to be safe.
And that's incredible. That's Ohn's distance right there.
Yeah.
And she knows she can just get over that green in perfect position. I love how aggressive that is for her.
Exactly.
Yep.
Oh, good.
Okay, I thought it was gonna maybe catch a little angle there, but lands just perfectly. And Ella, I'm assuming, is probably gonna go straight at it. Let's see.
There is an out and around shot, but it brings the OB into play.
She actually played the low hyzer. Oh, okay, and skips off of the OB, landing safe. Left side, look at the basket. Yeah, look how tough this approach is. You gotta keep it low.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
Wow.
She had an extremely small window there. She's throwing uphill, but underneath those branches right in front of the basket. Very well done.
For the birdie, Ella Hansen. Putting it up there and landing perfectly.
Ohn in the perfect spot.
Giving it a full bid, or it looked like the upshot.
She's a long way away.
Yeah, she's pretty far. And again, Jess with a little sidearm approach. Parking it. These ladies know exactly what they want out of this hole. A 4 is a great score. We've only seen in the FPO field just all I know of is actually Holland birdieing it. I'm sure there were a few more on the weekend, but very rare to get the birdie here.
Yeah, this is a very difficult hole.
This hole took my number all weekend. I'm coming back next year for the revenge. Tap-ins for this entire card. Excellent even score for the entire card coming out of hole 4. This is incredible, like I said. Really tough hole.
Hole 5, 327-foot par 3 with our go-to-mids. This is normally one that you feel like you have to birdie, but those hay bales come into play much more frequently than you think they would.
Absolutely. I think if you didn't have an obstructed putt on the entire weekend or practice round, that would be weird. Everybody's messing with the go-to-mids. And Lisa choosing her overstable destroyer, I believe. Just coming up short of the hay
Oh,
bales.
she
Or did she come around?
Yeah, she rolled just to the corner. She's going to have a look at it.
Okay. Yeah, she's getting the fist bump there. She's happy. Let's see. Ohn's trying to go around the right side as well. Oh, look at this.
That's almost identical to what Lisa just
Yeah,
did.
she's like, yeah. And I believe Ella's going to throw a big hyzer here. All the way around the outside, hoping to spike down in on the top.
Is it far enough? No.
Ooh, center cut behind the go-to-mid. I think those pyramids actually got in her way all weekend, but she made the putt successfully on day 1.
Haven't seen too many sidearms on this hole.
Actually, this is the first one I've watched. Great play, though. You know, opposite hyzer effect, go-to-mids into play. Just a little high there off the band. Landing safe, but giving her a little look at a death putt there.
So far from what I've seen this weekend, Lisa doesn't acknowledge those.
I love it. Almost the exact same play there, too, just a little high. Ella did have room to straddle out just a little bit. Not super obstructed, but...
Oh, stay there.
Oh. Hopefully just a tiny roll.
Thankfully, the grass is extremely thick right here.
Just kind of an off stance to get herself away from the hay bales.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was fun.
That's what we like to see. It feels extra good when you're going around those hay bales and she's just tapping them.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
That's one to remember.
Cool. Yeah, no problem there. You're right. No acknowledgement of the death putt. Just going in, taking care of business. Ella tapping in for the par. And same thing for Ohn. We've got Lisa in the lead at 8 down. Ohn just behind her on her tails at 7 down.
Here we have hole 6, 407 feet, par 4. Off the tee, there are a few options. I like the straight over the road. There is also an anhyzer or a sidearm. The second shot is much farther than it looks, as there is 35 feet of elevation gain on this hole.
I like this hole. From the tee, it definitely makes a player think, you've got to pick your path. Is it inside? Is it outside? And just with that sidearm, I would have thought maybe was going to take the outside, but she's breaking off more distance, throwing a backhand inside there, landing safe.
I think it's easier to put yourself in a good position with the straight shot. But there's also potential danger because you got a couple of obstacles that you could hit, and you are flying towards and potentially over OB.
Excellent. All you have to do is miss that tree and the low-hanging branches.
That's fine.
It's fun to watch how each different female is attacking this hole, too.
On this hole, you can tell most of the women are throwing to the left of the turf pad that was available for all of the turf holes, and I was very glad because the angle was much better for the straight shot on the off to the left-hand side for this hole.
Yeah, I really appreciate that option as well. The tournament director is doing a lot of things right when he's creating those kinds of options. Ella landing safely there on the longer side of the forehand gap, but she'll be just fine for the upshot.
Oh, she's got a little bit of a uphill stance, so she's got to put a lot onto this.
Come on. And finding OB for the first time during this round on this FPO card. Didn't quite come back in for Ella Hansen. She'll have to take it back quite a ways for the out of bounds.
Also a little bit of an uphill run-up, but I think... Oh, no.
Just a little too much angle on that one. The second out of bounds found today, back-to-back on this same tough, difficult hole 6.
You know, whenever you have a little bit funny run-up, it changes your timing, and that can affect your line, and it can affect your distance.
Ohn puts it up there safe, but she's giving herself a certain tester putt. And Ella's making it in and just a little bit above pin high this time.
I was a little nervous on that one, too.
Stay there. Stay there.
Lisa was nervous on that one.
Yep. She'll have a downhill putt at it. And this is Jessica's drive. This is sweet.
That's the best drive I've seen.
Yeah. Take that all day long. Just give it a nice, easy upshot. Stress-free par is gold.
Beautiful.
There's Ohn for her 3. Just right side, but staying safe from the OB deep, which isn't that far away.
It isn't.
And Lisa taking a knee to get down on the basket's level. Just low. Trying to keep it out of the wind, keep it safe. But at least she landed pretty nicely there. Definitely took her time, went through all the checked boxes in her rhythm and routine, but just a little bit right side there.
Yeah, still nice and smooth, just not quite on line.
A beautiful birdie for Jessica, and with that drive, I mean, that's absolutely what she wanted. Unfortunately, the double bogey there with the out of bounds, and Ella's walking away looking for some redemption on the next hole. Same thing for Lisa.
Yeah,
Which
a
we've
little
got
bit of disappointment for some of the players on this hole, but this is a very tricky hole, that's for sure.
Yep, and Ohn tapping in that par, we now have a lead change. Ohn is in first place at 7 down.
This is hole 7. It is 276 feet, par 3. There is a Mando on the right-hand side, but most people would throw on the left-hand side anyway. It's reachable. You'll see some sidearm shots. You might see some backhand turnovers.
Might see some left-handed by right-handed players. You never know. You never know.
And hopefully we'll see some birdies.
Yes. It's got some big air underneath it.
I'm sure that's not going to turn. There is an OB green.
Could kind of see the corner of it there. I think she stayed safe.
Yeah, she's safe with that.
I like this camera angle. Well, they changed it, but I do like it when you can see some of that in front of the tee pad, looking at the player camera angles. GK Pro really brings all the sweet angles, actually. It's a good landing there. She's got a bid for the 2. Lisa also choosing to go with the forehand shot. Keeps a little bit lower, which is good. Yeah.
It was a little shorter than I thought, but she's still putting.
I do like how the staff and the tournament director put those couple of, I think they're trees. Shrubberies, little tiny fence in the way, little obstruction. Can't make it too easy.
Yeah, without those, it would have been common to see the backhand turnover shot skip up from that location. So now you have to fly over the top of it instead of just skipping to it.
Man, I like the angle, the look at the basket that Jess had there. Even though it was like super dangerous to land that close, that was a really great looking putt.
Oh, beautiful shot.
Yeah, that makes her happy. She came back for that redemption. Roll it back and chains, catch, smash in.
So pretty.
Lisa's putter is really pretty too. You notice that?
Yeah.
All right, Ohn for her birdie bid. Unobstructed from the big tree, and she's
Excellent.
in. Yes. Yeah, let's get that replay. Sweet.
Little pirouette in the basket.
Tap, tap. Thank you, basket. I love birdies. Oh, and husband Justin Scoggins caddying for Ohn. She's so happy. Dang, and just a little low. Right on line, though. Right on line. Keep the confidence in the putt.
Feels like she needed a little bit more lower body action on that one. Just a little bit more of a push off.
Absolutely. Tapping in the par for Jess as well. Moving on to hole 8.
This is a fun one. This is a 588-foot par 4. There are 2 obvious shots. I like the straight turnover off the tee. There's also a hyzer off the tee. It's the second shot that is pretty critical here because it takes a lot of distance to get up on top of that mound. We're throwing down into the valley and then up onto the mound.
All right. Pulling it a little bit wide, but absolutely missing everything and getting down almost to the flat.
Yeah, that's what you really want on this shot, is to be able to have a flat footing on your second shot.
Lisa going with the same gap, a wide play, and just hoping to hyzer into the middle of the fairway.
Oh, she's in a great spot there.
Yep. That's all you want.
It's 6 feet away from Owen's.
But in a much better.
Yeah, Owen's going to have a little bit of a tricky run up because of the side angle on the land.
Jessica taking that inside gap that
Yeah,
you
that's
like
the
to
one I
take.
like because you're putting the bottom of the disc to the wind and you're going to get that push then.
Looking like hers hyzered out and is way up high, actually. Might have some flat footing, but I think there's going to be some angle to deal with.
Yeah, I think she's going to have a tricky run up.
I like the hyzer play, and she's much more inside there.
That's nice, flying it out into the middle there, having a little bit better angle at the basket.
And that will be no problem distance-wise for Ella from where she's at to get to the basket.
Right.
She probably has to disc down, actually. Ohn just at the base of the hill there, I think. Love this basket. And that was a good camera angle. You guys can see that there is OB deep. Shouldn't be a problem on this second shot for most FPO players. Does come into play, though, on most people's third shot. Lisa landing side hill, probably in circle 2 there. Ella's probably got to make some decisions. I'm guessing hyzer bomb to stay away from OB deep. Yep.
Good guess.
And stuck it.
Great distance.
Gotta love that. So Jess's run up, yeah, definitely not flat.
Yeah, her heels are below her toes, which is not something that you practice very much.
Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Whew. Stay.
I'm pretty sure that's not the last cut. I think that's safe.
Awesome. I think you're right. We didn't get the OB red. I'm still kind of jaw dropped about that. I'm like, I gotta see it. I want to walk up to it. Everybody's staying safe. Lisa's bidding for a birdie. It's pretty far here. Give her that circle 2 stat. Give it a little bit. There's OB deep, but she's fine.
So I can take my meter even though they didn't.
And everybody agrees she's all good. She's taking her meter in because that's what we get. You can't putt from out of bounds with your feet. So let's get this birdie. Just a little low. A lot of wind. You guys can see the flags whipping in this wind.
Yeah, she's got a headwind and it falls off behind the basket, so there is potential danger on a miss there.
Sweet. Ella cashing the birdie in and moving on, giving her a little confidence moving into the final hole in the first half. Yeah, Lisa, solid putt there for the par.
Another beautiful putt.
And let's see, Ohn here for her par. No problem. And then we're just going to have a tap in for Jessica as we move on to our final hole in the front half. We've got Lisa at 7 down and Ohn 8 down in first place.
Hole 9, 438-foot par 3. This is a really fun shot, but you need to know if you're going to go for it or not. If not, you're probably going to hyzer off to the left. Straight shot needs to be even with the pin. It looks like you're throwing downhill, but the pin is so far up on the elevated back side of that green that you need to throw straight across or even up.
And Ella is definitely a player with plenty of power, plenty of disc to get to this pin. I think that came out just a tiny bit early, but hyzer's out safe. Kind of more on the level pin height with the basket. She's going to have a side hill putt. And Ella has a huge distance putt as well.
Yes.
Ohn playing her safe shot, hoping to come off. Well, actually, it was short. I thought it was going to get a skip off the green.
What I've seen her do before, yeah, she'll throw almost to the green, but on the left-hand side, knowing that it's going to hyzer off.
Okay. So that's Ohn's play. Lisa. Fajkus attacking. So she's going straight over the middle, hoping to hyzer out or get the skip off of the OB. Oh, she didn't even have to get the skip. She's safe.
I think this is a fun approach when you're down in the bottom there. There's nothing in your way. It feels like you can throw as hard as you want because you've got the backstop. And I don't know, I just really like this approach.
Absolutely. I also like how there's, I mean, this is just me personally, but you got the spectators and the flags whipping in the wind, and it's exciting. It's the front half, you know, just as you walk up to this basket, I get pretty excited for a lot of reasons. Okay, Ohn for her second shot. Again, she's got that backstop that JK's talking about, so no fear here.
Well, she was a little more aggressive than I expected. But for Ohn, that shouldn't be a problem. That's nice and gentle.
Look at this.
That was gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, I like that. It is really fun when you're just trying to make a nice approach at the basket and you're getting that close. Oh, wow. Look at this sidearm approach up the hill. Annie.
Awesome.
That was, you know, Jess has such amazing angle control, both backhand and sidearm shots. I like seeing that. The bid from Ella. Just high. She's landed safely behind the basket.
Oh my goodness. The camera angle makes that look very frightening.
That is just purely staring at the death putt. Oh, the basket tried to catch it. Super close. It landed, though.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean landed safely and didn't roll 100 feet away.
This is one of the few baskets that has mulch around it instead of fluffy grass. So you could easily get a rollaway on this one. Thankfully, we didn't.
Absolutely. Ella with a mini death putt there, but taking the par. Lisa tapping in her par. Same thing for Jess. And when we look at the scoreline below, we now have a tie for first place. We've got a race between Lisa Fajkus and Ohn Scoggins. Look at this replay for Jess's shot. Look at that form. Beautiful shots by GK Pro. We're super stoked that they're bringing us the FPO coverage. Here's a look at the leaderboard after the front nine. We want to thank Innova Champion Discs for being our presenting sponsor for this event. And thank you for all the ladies who have made the trip to Oceanside, California. Here's the top 10 on the leaderboard. I like seeing Elise moving up into tying for 9th place with you, Juliana Korver, and all the way up to the race for first place with Lisa and Ohn. Join us for the back nine. We're so thankful to have GK Pro covering our division. We'll see you guys for the back nine. I'm Zoe AnDyke.
And I'm Juliana Korver.